Hi, I'm Megan Longmore and I'm a physio here in town, and today I've paired up with the MHSA to create a new soccer warm-up. I'm joined by Joel Lair from the U13 boys team, as well as Jasmine Salmon from the U19 girls team, and we're going to demonstrate the new warm-up for you all. This warm-up incorporates three-dimensional movements, and they're definitely seen in the game of soccer. I hope this is a great tool for you to use, as you can actually see what's going on, and you'll be able to better implement it in your routine. Awesome, let's get started. With the front and back stretch, what you want to focus on is taking a step forward and pulling your arms up and overhead. And when you take a step backward, you're going to lean into your back hip, push the hips back, and pull the arms behind you. As you can see, Jasmine takes a step forward and pushes the hips forward. And when she takes a step back, she bends the knee and leans into the back hip. With the rotation movement, you're going to plant one leg, and you're going to step over that leg, and then you're going to open up. And basically the arms are just coming with that motion, but you really want to focus on the hips actually opening up and coming across the body. If we don't have the hips actually doing that, we're not getting the full hip mobility that we need. So you'll see the foot will stay planted in one spot, and we really just pivot around that foot. As you can see, Joel is stepping across his foot, and then he's opening right up. Stepping across, the hips are coming through, opening right up. This is the last of the rotational hip mobility, and it's called the load and jump. As you can see, you put your weight all onto one foot, you sink down into that lunge, push the hip back, and you kind of rotate towards that leg, and then you explode out. Okay, so it's really important that we wind that hip up to make sure it's very powerful, and we jump outwards. With the lateral hip movement, you can see that the players start in a wide stance. You have one hand on your hip and the other hand is coming up overhead. So what you're doing with that hand on the hip is you're pushing into the hip, and when you do that, you can see that the pelvis actually tilts to the direction that the arm overhead is doing. So as you can see, Jasmine has that hand on the hip, and it's almost like you're pushing into that crease, and then you're driving the hips to the side and pulling the hand up and over. And you can see that you're actually getting a nice tilt with the pelvis when you do that. The lateral hip lunge is exactly the same motion as the lateral hip, but now what we're doing is lunging with it. So as you can see, when you take a step forward, you're again pushing that hip out, and that same side arm is coming up and over. It's the exact same movement, it's just now we're adding a lunge onto it. For the total hip mobility section, it's very similar to your open and close the gate, but in soccer we actually come all the way through and kick a ball. So to stop with open and closing the gate, we need to continue that whole motion. So what you're doing is just bringing the leg up, opening the gate, and when you kind of get to that end point, you turn the leg down and come all the way through. If you're going to lose your balance, just toe touch, put your toe down, and continue on. This should be a slow and controlled movement. So again, you'll see Jasmine here, she brings that leg up, opens the gate, but then rotates around and comes all the way through. So doing that just nice and slow, don't worry about speed with this, you just really want to feel the whole motion throughout the whole hip. With the single arm and leg kick, what you're focusing on is opening up with the arm when you drive the leg back, and then coming together. So when you kick up, you can see how the players pull the arm and the trunk towards the leg, and then they load back up. Again, you can see Jasmine, she really emphasizes pulling the arm backwards before she kicks. With the lunge with arms, it's exactly what it sounds like. We're doing a lunge motion, but as you can see, the players are bringing the arms down across the outside of the knee, and when they step back to normal, the arms are just coming up to the side. So you're just going to repeat a lunge with bringing the arms down to the outside of the knee. As you can see, Jasmine lunges, And when she does that, her arms again come right just outside the knee, really kind of trying to explode the trunk. And then you just step back to normal, and again, repeat. With the running drill, you can set up the cones at whatever distance works for you. But the whole main idea of this is just to get moving, get the heart rate up, and also create versatility in our running sequences. So what I mean by that is you can see Jasmine and Joel, they'll shuffle some movements, they'll run, they'll sprint, they'll sidestep, they'll run backwards, whatever it is that you want to do in between each drill or in between each cone, you can do that. What happens when you come to a cone is you can either go up for a header, you can cut and move in the opposite direction, you can fake out, you can stop completely, you can stop with 1 foot, you could jump up with 2 feet. Really the whole point, like I said again, is just doing something different at every cone, and when you're running in between cones, doing something different.